So this is what I do a lot with athletes in the gym and what I recommend that they do. And I don't just mean obviously watching them analyzing like this. Oftentimes I record videos so that I can do exactly what I'm going to show you. Where I will just slowly scrub some frames back and forth and just see what I notice. And it would be really difficult and inappropriate for this blog post for me to just tell you what like everything means, and that's less important honestly than you just gaining an awareness and noticing things about your own body. So with this athlete here, to me it's pretty evident that about his left shoulder being higher than his right. That's just what we see. You don't need to know necessarily what is better or worse. However, you might be inclined to wonder, well, my left shoulder, let's say this is you, your left shoulder doesn't feel great, your right shoulder does. And you might curiously try your pull-ups next time with your left shoulder down. And that's really what I want to happen from you understanding more about yourself, is then go curiously explore in things that you feel safe and comfortable doing. With his bear crawl here, you'll see something different. Now, for most of you, this just looks like a bear crawl, and there's nothing special about it. And this is the moment where a lot of the athletes will say, well, I can't unsee what I see now. And so watch how much his hips shift when he's on his right leg versus his left leg. He places his right leg down, crawls forward, minimal sideways movement. On his left, big shift. And again, you don't need to know what it means, or I would just play around with both. Go explore and learn for yourself. Crawl where your hips shift a lot. Crawl when they don't move at all. Video it back and watch it back for yourself, ensuring that what you feel is what's actually happening, because it's usually not. Video feedback can be an amazing tool for awareness. Now, if you're curious, I'll go ahead and just say he's making this hip shift on his left side because he's avoiding his knee. This pattern here is a way to offload his quad. He had a knee injury 7 years ago that doesn't bother him anymore, but he retained some of the patterns that he learned then, which was protecting his knee at the time, and no longer serve him. Here's another guy who's about to go crawl, but it's not about the crawl. These other moments that seem unimportant are important. Watch how he lowers to the ground. Look at his ankles. Now, this is obviously a much more small and subtle observation for most of you. For me, it's, I do this every day, so I see this quite easily. Don't judge yourself for not being able to see this. I just want you to understand that the spectrum of things you can notice can be very large and very small. The point is the noticing, just becoming aware. Oftentimes your experience, how your body feels, might give you information on what you should try. And again, the point is awareness, and then perhaps exploring curiously what it is that you see. With this other athlete, it's just obviously a photo with some nice marks there on his back. And, again, it seems like a pretty unimportant thing. Like, why, Austin, do you have a picture of a guy shirtless on his hands and knees? But this just tells me a lot of information. For one, what I see, let me go ahead and draw on this. And again, I don't want you to place any value on anything. I just want you to notice that he has this side bend on his right side, like a big divot in his obliques. This left shoulder is a little bit more elevated, and we can see his spine is just a little bit curved that way. Obviously, the line is poor, but drawing on a trackpad is difficult. And again, don't need to place any value or judgment on it. The whole point is noticing. Once you can notice, you start becoming more aware and maybe you explore. I'll leave it at that for now. Hopefully that gives you a starting point and encourages you to watch some video of yourself.